Like, share, comment and subscribe. In this video we shall be explaining facts in the book called The 48 Laws of Power. The 48 Laws of Power is a book written by Robert Greene and first published in 1998. The book is a guide to understanding and acquiring power in various situations and contexts, and it presents 48 different laws or strategies for doing so. Some of the laws discussed in the book include: never outshine the master, play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following and create a sense of urgency and drama. The book has been highly successful and has become a bestseller in the self-help genre. The law number 1, never outshine the master. In the 48 Laws of Power, the first law is, never outshine the master. This means that when working under someone else, it is important to avoid drawing too much attention to oneself or one's abilities, as this can make the person in charge feel threatened or insecure. Instead, it is important to always give credit to the person in charge and to make sure that they are seen as the leader and the person with the most power. This law encourages to avoid being too ambitious, too talented, or too successful because it will make the person in charge feel threatened and may lead to jealousy and resentment. By staying in the background, you can avoid creating enemies and allow the person in charge to take the credit for your work. This will not only make you more valuable to your superiors but also increase the chances of being promoted. Next is the law number 2, never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. The second law in the 48 Laws of Power is, never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. This law advises against placing too much trust in others, as people can be unpredictable and may not always have your best interests in mind. Instead, it suggests that one should be aware of the potential for betrayal and use caution when dealing with friends. The law also suggests that it can be beneficial to learn how to use your enemies. While enemies may seem like a liability, they can also be a valuable resource if you know how to use them. By understanding their strengths and weaknesses, you can use them to your advantage. For example, by knowing what they fear most, you can use that to manipulate them. Or by understanding what they want, you can use that as leverage against them. It's important to note that this law should not be taken as a call to be paranoid or untrusting of others. Instead, it's a reminder to be cautious, aware of potential dangers, and to be strategic in one's relationships with others. It's also important to remember that the enemies are not only external to the organization, but also internal, meaning that people inside the organization can also be potential enemies. The third law in the 48 Laws of Power is, conceal your intentions. This law advises that one should keep their true intentions and plans hidden from others, as revealing them can make you vulnerable to those who may try to undermine or oppose you. By keeping your intentions secret, you can maintain an element of surprise and control over the situation. This law suggests that one should be cautious about who they reveal their plans to and only share information with those who need to know. It also suggests that one should be vague and ambiguous when discussing their plans with others, rather than providing specific details. Concealing your intentions also means that you are aware of the information that you are sharing, and with whom. It means being aware of the audience and the purpose of the information. It also means being aware of the potential consequences of sharing the information, and how it can be used against you. The fourth law in the 48 Laws of Power is, always say less than necessary. This law advises that one should be careful about how much they reveal about themselves and their thoughts, and to always keep some things to themselves. This not only keeps one in control of the conversation, but it also makes people curious and eager to learn more. By saying less than necessary, you keep people guessing, and they will be more likely to fill in the gaps with their own assumptions and interpretations. This can be useful in negotiations, in which revealing too much can give your opponents an advantage. This law also suggests that one should be careful about making promises or commitments, as they can later be used against them. Instead, one should be vague and non-committal, and avoid giving specifics until absolutely necessary. It's important to note that this law should not be taken as a call to be evasive or to not be transparent. Instead, it's a reminder to be strategic in how one communicates and shares information with others, and to be aware of the potential consequences of revealing too much. It's also important to be aware of the audience and the purpose of the information and how it can be used to achieve one's goals. The fifth law in the 48 laws of power is, so much depends on reputation, guard it with your life. This law emphasizes the importance of one's reputation and how it can affect one's ability to achieve their goals. A good reputation can open doors and create opportunities, while a bad reputation can close them. This law advises that one should be vigilant in protecting their reputation and to be aware of how others perceive them. It suggests that one should be mindful of their actions and words, as they can have a significant impact on one's reputation. It also advises to be aware of the potential for rumors or gossip to spread and to take action to correct any false or damaging information. It's also important to be aware of the reputation of the organization you are working for, and how it can impact your reputation. It's important to be aware of the public image of the company and the actions that can damage it. It's important to note that this law should not be taken as a call to be overly concerned with how others perceive you, or to be inauthentic. Instead, it's a reminder to be aware of the impact that your actions and words can have on your reputation, and to take steps to protect it when necessary. The sixth law in the 48 laws of power is, court attention at all costs. This law advises that one should actively seek out attention and recognition, as it can be a valuable tool in achieving power and influence. The idea is that the more attention one receives, the more visibility they have, which in turn can lead to more opportunities and influence. This law suggests that one should be proactive in seeking out attention, whether it be through public speaking, networking, or other means. It also suggests that one should be willing to take risks and stand out from the crowd, even if it means drawing negative attention. It's important to note that this law should not be taken as a call to be self-promoting or to prioritize fame over substance. Instead, it's a reminder to be proactive in seeking out opportunities to showcase one's talents and abilities, and to be strategic in how one positions themselves. It's also important to have a balance between seeking attention and being humble, and also to be aware of the company culture and values. The seventh law in the 48 laws of power is, get others to do the work for you, but always take credit. This law advises that one should be strategic in delegating tasks and responsibilities to others, while also ensuring that they receive credit for the work that is done. The idea is that by getting others to do the work, you can free up time and energy to focus on more important tasks, while also increasing your own power and influence. This law suggests that one should be skilled in identifying and utilizing the strengths of others, and in delegating tasks in a way that allows them to take ownership and feel invested in the outcome. It also suggests that one should be sure to take credit for the work that is done, whether it be through public recognition, promotions, or other means. It's important to note that this law should not be taken as a call to be exploitative or to take credit for the work of others without giving proper recognition. Instead, it's a reminder to be strategic in how one utilizes the talents and abilities of others, and to be aware of the importance of credit and recognition in achieving power and influence. It's also important to recognize and appreciate the work of others and to give credit where credit is due. The eighth law in the 48 laws of power is, make other people come to you, use bait if necessary. This law advises that one should create a situation where others are eager to come to them, rather than the other way around. The idea is that by making others come to you, you are in a position of power and control, rather than being at the mercy of others. This law suggests that one should be strategic in creating a desirable image or reputation, and in making themselves a valuable resource or source of information. It also suggests that one should be willing to use bait, if necessary, such as offering rewards or incentives, to entice others to come to them. It's important to note that this law should not be taken as a call to be manipulative or to use deceitful tactics to lure others. Instead, it's a reminder to be strategic in how one positions themselves and to make themselves a valuable resource, so that others are naturally inclined to come to them. It's also important to be ethical and respectful in the way one interacts with others and to not use unfair or dishonest means to gain their attention. The ninth law in the 48 laws of power is, win through your actions, never through argument. This law advises that one should focus on taking action and achieving results, rather than getting bogged down in arguments and debates. The idea is that by taking action, you demonstrate your capabilities and gain the respect of others, rather than relying on words alone. This law suggests that one should be proactive and take initiative, rather than waiting for others to act. It also suggests that one should avoid getting caught up in arguments and debates, as they can be time-consuming and ineffective, and instead focus on achieving results. The 10th law in the 48 laws of power is infection. Avoid stepping on toes and cultivating enemies. This law advises that one should be mindful of the relationships and interactions they have with others, and to avoid actions that could lead to creating enemies or alienating others. The idea is that by avoiding creating enemies, one can maintain a stable and supportive network of relationships, which can be beneficial to one's power and influence. This law suggests that one should be respectful and considerate of others, and to avoid actions that could be perceived as confrontational or aggressive. It also suggests that one should be aware of the dynamics of any group or organization they are a part of, and to avoid actions that could create factions or divisions. It's important to be aware of the political landscape and to be mindful of not creating unnecessary enemies in the process. It also means to avoid actions that might be perceived as stepping on toes of people who might be important or powerful, as this can create a negative reputation and lead to alienation, which can be detrimental to one's power and influence. Like, share, comment and subscribe. We shall continue in the next video.